Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, Gajpal A Learnings. In this video we are going to study about Introduction to Human Body, which is a part of B Pharm First Sem, Human Anatomy and Physiology Part 1. So let's get started. Content to be covered is Introduction to Human Body, Definition and Scope of Human Anatomy and Physiology, Levels of Structural Organization and Body Functions, Basic Life Processes, Homeostasis, Basic Anatomical Terminologies. First of all, let us know what does human body means. So, the human body is a complex and remarkable biological system, comprising various systems and organs that work together to maintain life. It enables humans to interact with their environment, perform essential functions, and exhibit cognitive abilities. Human body structure includes following system and organs. First, cells. The basic building blocks of the human body are cells. Cells are the smallest unit of life and perform specific functions. They are organized into tissues. Second, tissues. Tissues are groups of similar cells that work together to perform a particular function. There are 4 primary types of tissues in the human body: epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous tissues. Third, organs. Organs are structures composed of different types of tissues that work collectively to perform specific functions. Examples of organs include the heart, lungs, brain, liver, and kidneys. Fourth, systems. Organs work together to form systems, which are groups of organs that perform integrated functions to sustain the body. Some major systems in the human body include the skeletal system, muscular system, nervous system, circulatory system, respiratory system, digestive system, urinary system, and reproductive system. First, skeletal system. The skeletal system provides support, protection, and movement. It consists of bones, joints, ligaments, and cartilage. Second, muscular system. The muscular system enables movement and generates heat. It includes skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Third, nervous system. The nervous system coordinates and controls body functions. It comprises the brain, spinal cord, and peripheral nerves. Fourth, circulatory system. The circulatory system transports oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste products throughout the body. It includes the heart, blood vessels, and blood. Fifth, respiratory system. The respiratory system facilitates the exchange of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, between the body and the environment. It consists of the lungs, airways, and respiratory muscles. Sixth, digestive system. The digestive system processes food, absorbs nutrients, and eliminates waste products. It includes the mouth, esophagus, stomach, liver, etc. Now our next topic is definition and scope of anatomy and physiology. First is anatomy. Anatomy is the branch of science that focuses on the structure of living organisms and the relationships between their different parts. It involves the examination and identification of the various structures that make up an organism, such as organs, tissues, cells, and even subcellular components. The word anatomy comes from the Greek word anatom, which means cutting up or dissection. Historically, anatomists studied the human body by dissecting cadavers to observe and understand its structure. Now, scope of anatomy includes following. First, gross anatomy. This refers to the study of structures that can be seen with the naked eye, such as organs, bones, muscles, and blood vessels. Gross anatomy can be further divided into regional anatomy, study of specific regions of the body, and systemic anatomy, study of organs and tissues within various systems. Second, microscopic anatomy. This involves the examination of structures at a microscopic level, including cells and tissues. Microscopic anatomy includes histology, study of tissues, and cytology, study of cells. Third, developmental anatomy. This focuses on the changes in structure that occur during the growth and development of an organism from conception to adulthood. Fourth, comparative anatomy. Comparative anatomy involves studying and comparing the anatomical structures of different species. By examining similarities and differences between species, scientists gain insights into evolutionary relationships and adaptations. 5T. Radiographic anatomy. This field uses imaging techniques such as X-rays, CT scans, MRI scans, and ultrasounds to visualize and study the internal structures of the body non-invasively. Sixth, surgical anatomy. Surgical anatomy focuses on the anatomical structures relevant to surgical procedures. It helps surgeons understand the relationships between organs, blood vessels, nerves, and other structures to perform surgeries safely and effectively. Now next is physiology. Physiology is the branch of science that deals with the normal functions and processes of living organisms and their parts. It explores how different organs and systems of the body work together to maintain homeostasis, which is the stable internal environment required for the body's proper functioning. Physiology investigates the mechanisms and processes that govern the functions of various organs and tissues, including the chemical and physical processes that occur within cells. Scope of physiology. It includes: first, cell physiology. This involves the study of cellular functions and processes, such as cell metabolism, cell communication, and cell reproduction. Second, organ physiology. This focuses on the functions and interactions of specific organs in the body, such as the heart, lungs, kidneys, and brain. Third, systemic physiology. This encompasses the study of how different organ systems work together to maintain overall body function. It includes systems such as the cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, nervous, and endocrine systems. Fifth, exercise physiology. Exercise physiology investigates the effects of physical activity and exercise on the body. It examines how exercise impacts various systems, such as cardiovascular function, respiratory function, and muscular adaptations. Sixth, neurophysiology. Neurophysiology studies the functions of the nervous system, including the electrical and chemical processes that occur in neurons and how they contribute to sensory perception, motor control, memory, and other cognitive functions. Seventh, endocrine physiology. Endocrine physiology focuses on the study of hormones and their effects on various physiological processes. It examines how the endocrine glands produce, release, and regulate hormones and their impact on metabolism, growth, reproduction, and other functions. Seventh, immunology. Immunology is a branch of physiology that studies the body's immune system, including how it defends against pathogens, the immune response to infections, and the development of vaccines and immunotherapies. Eighth, reproductive physiology. Reproductive physiology explores the functions and processes related to reproduction. It covers topics such as gamete production, hormonal regulation of the reproductive cycle, fertilization, pregnancy, and childbirth. Next, levels of structural organization. First, chemical level. This is the most basic level of organization and involves the study of atoms, molecules, and their interactions. Examples include studying the properties and interactions of elements like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, as well as the formation of molecules such as proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids. Second, cellular level. At this level, the focus is on studying the structure and function of cells, which are the smallest units of life. This includes examining various organelles within cells, such as the nucleus, mitochondria, and endoplasmic reticulum, and understanding cellular processes like metabolism, protein synthesis, and cell division. Third, tissue level. Tissues are groups of similar cells that work together to perform a specific function. There are 4 primary types of tissues in the human body: epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous tissues. Epithelial tissues line and protect body surfaces, connective tissues provide support and connect different body parts, muscle tissues enable movement, and nervous tissues facilitate communication and control. 4T. Organ level. Organs are structures composed of different types of tissues that work collectively to perform specific functions. Examples of organs include the heart, lungs, liver, brain, and kidneys. Each organ has a specific structure and function that contributes to the overall functioning of the body. Fifth, system level. Systems are groups of organs that work together to carry out complex functions and maintain homeostasis. Examples include the skeletal system, muscular system, nervous system, circulatory system, respiratory system, digestive system, urinary system, and reproductive system. Each system has a specific role and contributes to the overall functioning of the body. Sixth, organismal level. This is the highest level of structural organization and refers to the entire organism as a whole. It encompasses all the systems, organs, tissues, and cells working together to maintain life and carry out various functions. Next topic, basic life process. The basic life processes are essential activities that living organisms carry out to maintain life and sustain their existence. These processes are fundamental to the functioning of all living organisms and include the following. First, Metabolism. Metabolism refers to the chemical processes that occur within an organism to convert nutrients into energy, build and repair cells and tissues, and eliminate waste products. It consists of two main components: anabolism, building up molecules, and catabolism, breaking down molecules. Second, nutrition. Nutrition involves the intake, digestion, and utilization of nutrients from the environment. Organisms require various substances, such as carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals, to provide energy and support growth, development, and repair. Third, respiration. Respiration is the process by which organisms take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. It involves the exchange of gases between the organism and its environment and the production of energy through cellular respiration, where oxygen is used to break down glucose and produce ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Fourth, growth. Growth refers to the increase in size, complexity, and number of cells in an organism. It occurs through cell division and cell differentiation, leading to the development of tissues, organs, and organ systems. Fifth, reproduction. Reproduction is the process by which organisms produce offspring, ensuring the continuation of their species. It can be either sexual, involving the fusion of gametes, sperm and egg, or asexual, involving the production of offspring without the involvement of gametes. Sixth, response to stimuli. Organisms have the ability to detect and respond to changes in their environment through sensory perception and coordinated motor responses. This includes reacting to external stimuli, such as light, temperature, and sound, and internal stimuli, such as pain or hunger. Next is homeostasis. Certainly, homeostasis is a vital process that allows organisms to maintain a stable internal environment despite external changes. It involves the regulation of various physiological variables within a narrow range to ensure optimal functioning of cells and tissues. First, variables. Homeostasis regulates a range of variables in the body, including temperature, for levels, blood pressure, heart rate, blood glucose levels, electrolyte balance, and fluid balance. These variables need to be kept within specific limits for cells to function properly. Second, set point. Each variable has a set point, which is the ideal or target value for that variable. For example, the body has a set point for body temperature around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius. Deviations from the set point trigger physiological responses to bring the variable back to its optimal range. Third, feedback mechanisms. Homeostasis is maintained through feedback mechanisms that monitor the variables and initiate appropriate responses to maintain equilibrium. There are two main types of feedback mechanisms: negative feedback and positive feedback. First, negative feedback. Negative feedback mechanisms work to counteract changes and bring the variable back to its set point. For example, when body temperature rises above the set point, sensors in the skin and brain detect the change and trigger responses such as sweating and vasodilation, widening of blood vessels, to cool the body down and lower the temperature. Second, positive feedback. Positive feedback mechanisms amplify or reinforce a change in the body. While less common in maintaining homeostasis, positive feedback plays a role in certain physiological processes, such as blood clotting and childbirth. It intensifies the initial response rather than returning the variable to its set point. Fourth, control centers. The control centers in the body, primarily located in the brain, particularly the hypothalamus, receive information from sensors and integrate it to initiate appropriate responses. The control centers send signals to effectors, which are organs or tissues that carry out the responses necessary to restore homeostasis. Fifth, importance. Homeostasis is critical for maintaining optimal conditions for cellular function. It ensures that cells have a stable internal environment with the right temperature, nutrient levels, and electrolyte balance. Without homeostasis, cellular function would be compromised, leading to disruptions in physiological processes and potential harm to the organism. Sixth, disruptions. Various factors can disrupt homeostasis, such as environmental changes, disease, injury, stress, or genetic disorders. When homeostasis is compromised, it can lead to health problems and diseases. For example, an imbalance in blood glucose regulation can result in diabetes, where the body struggles to maintain appropriate blood sugar levels. Now our last topic is basic anatomical terminology. First, anatomical position, the standard reference position for describing the body. It is characterized by standing upright, facing forward, arms at the sides, and palms facing forward. The feet are parallel and flat on the ground. Second, Superior and inferior. Superior refers to a structure being above or closer to the head, while inferior means below or closer to the feet. For example, the head is superior to the neck, and the feet are inferior to the knees. 3R. Anterior and posterior. Anterior, ventral, refers to the front side of the body, while posterior, dorsal, refers to the back side. For instance, the eyes are anterior to the brain, and the spine is posterior to the heart. 4th. Medial and lateral. Medial denotes a structure being closer to the midline of the body, while lateral means further away from the midline. For example, the nose is medial to the ears, and the arms are lateral to the chest. 5th. Proximal and distal. Proximal describes a structure being closer to the point of attachment or origin, while distal refers to a structure being farther away from the point of attachment or origin. For instance, the elbow is proximal to the wrist, and the fingers are distal to the wrist. 6th. Superficial and deep. Superficial refers to a structure being closer to the surface of the body, while deep means farther away from the surface. For example, the skin is superficial to the muscles, and the bones are deep to the muscles. 7th. Sagittal, frontal, and transverse planes. These are planes used to describe the orientation and sections of the body. Sagittal plane divides the body into left and right portions. Frontal, coronal, plane divides the body into front and back portions. Transverse, horizontal, plane divides the body into upper and lower portions. 8th. Bilateral and unilateral. Bilateral refers to structures occurring on both sides of the body, while unilateral means occurring on one side only. For example, we have two eyes, which are bilateral, while the appendix is unilateral. 9th. Cranial and caudal. Cranial refers to structures located towards the head or skull, while caudal refers to structures located towards the tail or lower end of the body. These terms are commonly used in animal anatomy. 10th. Flexion and extension. Flexion is the movement that decreases the angle between two body parts, while extension is the movement that increases the angle between two body parts. For example, bending the knee is flexion, and straightening the knee is extension. 11th. Dorsal and ventral. Dorsal refers to the back side of the body, while ventral refers to the belly side or front side. These terms are often used in reference to four-legged animals like horses or dogs. 12th. Medullary and cortical. These terms are often used in the context of the brain or bone structure. Medullary refers to the inner, central portion, while cortical refers to the outer, surface portion. 13th. Protraction and retraction. Protraction is the movement of bringing a body part forward, away from the midline, while retraction is the movement of bringing a body part backward, towards the midline. For example, when you jut your chin forward, it is protraction, and pulling it back is retraction. 14th. Supine and prone. Supine refers to lying face up, with the back on a flat surface, while prone refers to lying face down, with the front of the body on a flat surface. 15th. Abduction and adduction. Abduction is the movement of a body part away from the midline of the body, while adduction is the movement of a body part towards the midline. For instance, spreading the fingers apart is abduction, while bringing them back together is adduction. 16th. Eversion and inversion. Eversion is the movement that turns the sole of the foot outward, away from the midline, while inversion is the movement that turns the sole of the foot inward, towards the midline. Imagine pointing your toes outward like a ballet dancer, eversion, or inward like a pigeon-toed person, inversion. Thanks for watching this video.